What is going on, everyone? It is I, Shuby, and today we finally received patch 1.07 on the PlayStation 4. It has come with a lot of balance patches for characters. I'm going to leave a link in the description so you can see all the characters that have been tweaked, because it's almost all of the characters have been had some form of adjustment added to them. But I'm going to brush over a couple of things. The first one that I saw in the patch notes that really stood out was that they added the Dimitri Vegas as Sub-Zero skins and mask to Sub-Zero's customizations, available free for everybody. Well, I looked in the PlayStation Store, I looked in the in-game store, I didn't see anything to download, so I just went directly to Sub-Zero's customization options, and I started to look in there. Now, I don't main Sub-Zero, but I do have a good amount of his stuff unlocked, so I'm scrolling through things to try and see if one of these stand out as Dimitri Vegas's gear pieces. I'm not even 100% what they would be called, but as I was going through it, I'm not really seeing anything that stood out. So I went into the skins to see, because I know in the image that they had shown, it was like some neon, colors, some bright, vivid colors on it, but I still didn't see anything. So I think his stuff still might be released on the 22nd, like they had shown in that image. So hopefully, if he is there, somebody in the comments will, educate us. But another upgrade to the gear is a description on the locked gear and how to find it. Now, they did say they were going to add more to it, but this one says found in Chronica's Sphere, which is one of these items right here within the crypt. So instead of just saying in the crypt, they've gotten a lot more descriptive with it to give you a better idea of where you can find things within the crypt, which helps out a great deal, instead of just trying to refill chests and open them in hopes that you get stuff. So another one here that says found in, or constructed in, the Nether Forge. And the Nether Forge is the forge within the crypt. Once again, you can go in, and unfortunately your recipes you found aren't in this section. You still have to go to the collections menu. But I'll leave a link in the description to like the best forge recipes list on Reddit that I've ever found in the description, so you guys can check them out there. And also another one, it says found in Naknadon's Crypt Shrine. That's that collector shrine in the crypt once again. So instead of just saying the crypt, it gives us a better description. There's a lot of stuff within Naknadon's shrine, which is this little guy right here, so I'm sure you've all come across it. So this helps out a lot, just to let you know if there's a particular outfit that you want, that you're not just continuing to restock crypt chests, when in all actuality they just happen to be in that shrine. So another bonus thing that they added was Brutality Poses, and supposedly more brutalities. So this one here is Scorpion's Brutality Pose. Looks pretty sick. I love it. So I went through and I did a couple others that I think I found a couple of others. Now, if you all have seen these before, do let me know. But I think all of these are new. At least they're new to me, and I know for sure that Scorpion one's new. The Cabal one, I don't think I've seen that one. Could be wrong. This one with the tumbleweed, I've never seen this happen, so that's gotta be new, right? So anyway, there's a whole bunch of new ones to find out, or to discover, and holding down 4 during like the brutality sequence usually triggers those other ones, so hopefully you guys can find some for your favorite characters. But moving on to the Towers of Time, can we just take a moment to appreciate the new UI, like the new setup layout of this whole thing, how it shows those 2 skulls, the 4 skulls, the 4, those indicate the difficulty, right? So 5 skulls would be ultimate difficulty, which none of these are currently. But it looks great. And also, normally when I go through these towers, I have already completed every single one of them, despite it being a new tower or whatever. I've already completed all of them. Now, the Gauntlet doesn't have a difficulty meter, but I think it's safe to say those are always very difficult. Now, one of the huge things that people are going to be happy about is the Johnny Cage there it is, the Johnny Cage announcer voice. So you unlock the Johnny Cage announcer voice the next time you reach the top 10% in the race against time. This can be turned on in the audio section, the main menu options. So you can see it right there on the right hand side, right next to the currency, the 200 time crystals at 10%. So I've gotten, top 2% almost every week, and none of that counts. It's from this point on. If you get at least top 10% in this week or any following week, because it's going to be a continuous reward to unlock until you actually unlock it, you'll receive them. You know what I mean? So it's got a nice big old timer at the bottom now too, with Race Against Time at the base. One of the things that Derek Kurtzik talked about in the Combat Cast today was something that I had wished was in the game from day one, and it was kind of an injustice. But in this game, as you can see, the platforms that have a single fight, so let's just call them a boss fight, if you look into the completion rewards, right there in the middle, it says skin or augment selected character random. So that just means that whichever character you happen to pick, let's say if you pick Baraka and you beat Sub-Zero, this boss fight, with Baraka, you have a chance to get either the augment for the character or a skin for the character, which is just a great way to start unlocking things, skins mostly, that you've been wanting, but you don't want to go through the RNG at the crypt, or you don't want to have to wait for a particular tower to show up with the rewards, for whichever character that you're hoping to get stuff for. So if you've watched my channel before, of course, I had to use my boy Baraka, and I did great with my performance rewards. I unlocked the brutal difficulty, but I was a little discouraged to see that I got an augment instead of a skin, and I did check the brutal difficulty after the fact to see if I click the options button, if it gives me a second chance, and it doesn't. So that's rather unfortunate. So this is another tower just like that, and we're going to look real quick at this one. So platforms like this, where you have multiple towers and a singular boss fight, the completion rewards for doing the boss fight in these is either going to be the augment, you'll get the selected character augment, or you'll get the other reward where it'll be the selected character skin or augment. Sorry if I've lost you in any way, right? And for instance, this one was before the patch, and I'm not a big fan of this tower because I'm too poor to afford the combat pack. I don't have Shang Tsung, and that means that Scorpion has gear that's kind of locked behind Shang Tsung's DLC, which I'm not a big fan of. So anyway, let's go back to the Sonya and Cassie Cage father-daughter bonding fight. Now this one is does have that icon there in the bottom right in the completion rewards, and I went ahead and beat this one once again with Baraka, getting the brutal difficulty unlocked by getting my performance rewards, and I did get a Baraka skin, so pretty happy with that. That's 1 for 2, so that's possible 50% chance at this point of getting either a skin or an augment for the character that you're using in the boss fight, which is pretty amazing in my opinion. But once you start getting all the skins, I'm sure you're going to be getting more augments versus skins. Now something that's actually really cool, just a quick note about this tower, this type of tower where the enemy is a tag team. So when it's a silhouette, like that icon, the silhouette right there, if you unlock brutal difficulty and then you select the options, you can see in the completion rewards at the bottom in red that it says the Sonya gear and then the Cassie Cage gear. So sometimes if you're looking at gear and it says it's in Towers of Time, this is where it could be. It could be locked behind a brutal difficulty of a tag fight. So, just a heads up, and this was before the patch too. So just in case you didn't know, now you know. Now, moving along, we're going to be checking out the online section, specifically the Kombat League. Now, the Kombat League, I like it a lot. I think it's pretty fun. I learned to do a lot better once I started to learn to lose without raging. But anyway, so as you can see here, it says, at champion rank and higher, you will begin to lose combat points after 3 days of inactivity. Play Kombat League sets to prevent point decay and loss of rank. And then you can actually see I'm being warned right here that due to inactivity, I have 19 hours to complete a Kombat League set to avoid decay. So yeah, I like that it lets you know that you need to do that or you're going to lose points, and it will let you know if you did lose points because you just weren't really, playing Kombat League. But since that DDoS attacks that have been going on, I've honestly been apprehensive to play Kombat League because I don't want to be DDoSed, because it's just a crummy and scummy thing. But they did adjust a few things, so hopefully when players quit matches, they don't just automatically get the victory or didn't lose, you know what I mean, or reflect negatively on the person that didn't DC or the person that gets DOSed. So hopefully they figure out that whole fiasco. But let me know what you guys think of this patch. Did they fix your character that you love but weren't able to play because they just weren't good enough, or did they totally screw you and mess up a character that you loved entirely? So anyway, I'm Shuby. If you like this video, subscribe. If you dislike this video, let me know why, bro. Just tell me. Feedback is what makes my channel better. Alright, so once again, goodbye. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. See y'all in the Kombat League.